I want to talk about this right here. Okay? This is really important. Okay? So really pay attention. It happened to you, but it doesn't define you. It happened to you. It happened. Yes, it did. It was a moment in time that changed everything. It changed the course of your whole life, but it didn't have to. And it doesn't define you. It doesn't tell who you are as a person because it happened to you. It's not who you are. It happened. It's an event. It's just like when you stub your toe. Like, mind you, like when you stub your toe, that don't hurt. It hurt like hell, right? But as soon as the pain goes away, the memory that you even stubbed your toe goes away. You forget that even ever happened, right? But for some reason, we allow these emotional traumas, the things that happen to us in life, stay with us and affect every single move we make in life. Tell us why we don't do things like why we act a certain way, why we have a certain character. We changes the whole vibration. Makes us angry all the time, sad. Makes us question our worth. Makes us act unworthy. You're worthy. You're lovable. But for some reason, this moment, this thing that happened, you will let it take power and over your life, and you let it change the course of your whole life. What if that never happened to you? Then what? A lot of the times, we even hold on to events that happen as a crutch. Oh, this happened to me, so this is why I'm the way I am. This is why I will never be who I want to be. Because it happened to me. It happened. It happened, but it doesn't define you. What if you were to let it go? But then that would mean that you would have to let it go. You would have to face whatever it is that you told yourself, the reason why you never reached your potential. You would no longer have that thing as a crutch as to why you act the way you do, why you're angry all the time, why you're bitter, why you're broken. You don't have no excuses at that point. Then you have to face yourself. And that's scary. So I'd rather just have this in my back pocket as an excuse as to why I can't. Why I'm an asshole. Why I'm sad. Why I stay in my bed all the time. Why I'm depressed. Why I can't sustain a healthy relationship. Why I lack in any area of my life. I use these things that happen. I don't want to let it go. I'm comfortable now. I've accepted this and now I'm comfortable. I don't want to let it go. I don't want to forgive myself. I don't want to do that because that's just too much work. But then I would have to face my demons. I would have to face it. I'd have to face that moment and say, you don't have power over me anymore. Because I let it go. Because if you actually were to really let it go, and I mean really let it go, you have to let go of everything that took fruit from that event. Because that event was literally a seed that took root in your life and grew this tree that you let bear fruit. And it's not good fruit. But now, you gotta let that junk die. So all the fruits that it bare, whether it was the anger or whether it was the financial, your financial status, or whether it was why you couldn't keep a job, or whether it was why you drink all the time, all those little things, the things that bear fruit on that tree, you would have to, it would die too. You would have to kill those too. Because if you don't, then that means that tree is not dead for real. You didn't get that at the root. You probably killed one of them little fruits on that tree. You probably picked the fruit off and was like, oh, I'm healed. Nah. Nah. You gotta get that joint by the roots. You gotta pull that joint up by the roots. You feel me? Because then when you really get that shit up, then all of that shit goes away and then you don't have no excuses. When it really gets in your head like that's gone, it's a whole game changer because it changes your whole psyche. Your whole mind shifts. Because when you constantly, that's intentional. That's an intentional forgiveness. I forgive myself intentionally. I let go of every single thing in my life that I let grow here. Because of this moment in time. It was only a moment. It wasn't never supposed to bear fruit. It was never supposed to define you. It wasn't. So don't let it anymore. Man, nip that shit in the bud. Come on, like, it's an intentional journal, right? So kind of intentionally think about these little events that happen in your life. Anything that changed the course. I remember, there's a couple things for me personally, but think about yourself first. I'll talk about me later. There's little things that happened that shifted the course of your life. It just shifted it. And then think about the fruit that that thing bared in your life. What was the narrative that you made up, the storyline that you made up in your head as to the direction of your life was going in? What did you not do because of this event? What did you not accomplish, the things that you wanted to accomplish? What did you stunt yourself? What did you sabotage? What do you say I can't do because of this thing that happened way back when? You feel me? So, I mean, it's a lot. But if you can just like set some time apart right now to just think about those things and just think about what has bared fruit from that event, whether it's your, because for me, a lot of the things that bear fruit is the anger. Like sometimes something happens to me or somebody happens to me, I'll get angry. I'll stay angry. I remember a time I got angry at someone. And I was on the phone with them and we went through this whole thing of forgiving each other. We said it, I'm sorry to each other and we said I forgive you. After I got off the phone call, I actually sat with myself and I was like, well, what does that mean? Does that mean I have to let go of this anger? Because I'm angry. I'm angry. Like, do I have to let this go now? Is this the end of me and this? Because this event caused this outcome within me and literally spilled over to different areas of my life, and I was just angry regardless of where I was. All these little characteristics in your life, I bet you can find the root of them. The insecurities, the doubt, the fear, the anger, the sadness, everything got a roots. And you just have to figure out what happened, what was that thing, who is it, who's the person? Is it your mama? Is it your daddy? Sometimes it's the daddy, because my daddy ain't here. And I know there's a couple things in my life because my daddy wasn't here. And I didn't even know, I swear for God. Like I had to face that. And when I faced it, I didn't even know I was facing it. I swear for, I remember my brother, he was like, you gotta be cordial. I gotta be cordial for. I got hella defensive to this man that I thought very little about. I didn't think twice about this man for years until I was faced with with him because of my brother, and I got angry. I got defensive. Like I started building up some type of reaction, and you know when you get a reaction out of me, I know there's some root to that. You know what I'm saying? Because either if there was no tree, I would be different. Because that's just the way I built. Nothing really phases me. But if something does phase me, then there's something that needs to be healed there. There's a trauma there. And I didn't even realize it until that emotion came up that I never felt before concerning this man. I just got hella defensive. I'm like, what you mean? Be cordial. I don't gotta be cordial for shit. I ain't gotta do shit. He ain't in my life. I'm not in his. What's there to be cordial about? Really. I just got really hot in my body, and I ain't understand. I was like, no. And those are the events that happen in your life that you gotta kind of be aware of. It's always being conscious about everything that happens to you. Being intentional about everything, because there's a reason why. There's a reason why you react the way you react. Those reactions are fruits. It's something, a tree that was planted, whether by you, whether by somebody else, but you let it grow. You let it take root. Okay? And that's okay, but you gotta let that shit, because you gotta be at peace. We gotta find these trees and grow in our dome. We gotta cut them down. We gotta get them out of here. You feel me? So that's what I wanted to talk about. Let me see anything else on here. Sometimes you don't even know who you are without the event that happened. We've developed character traits based on things that happen in our life, and if we was to let go of that event and in turn have to let go of the character that we have defined ourselves with because of these events that happen, then who are we? Then who am I? If I have defined myself by these adverse events that have occurred in my life and I let that go, for real, meaning the fruit is dead now. The fruit is dead. But the thing about it is, a lot of times we try to resurrect that motherfucker. Hey, yo, is there any more seeds? I need to bury that motherfucker again because I'm lost. I don't know who I am anymore. I'm happier, but I don't know what that means. I don't know what to do with this. I'm not who I was. I miss me. I don't know who this is. Yo, well, I challenge you to fall in love with the you that you see in the mirror right now. On the healing process, you have to constantly get to know who you are at every stage, because